live.
Bam. Live on Facebook.
And we are now live.
Woohoo.
There we
Hi,
are.
Amy.
Hi, Alison Cox.
How's it going, Amy Shine?
Good. How's it going in Colorado?
I can see this. Oh, I better turn this off. Oh, good. You know, it's sunny and beautiful, and there's one person on the street. I think we have to shut down at 5 p.m. today, they say.
Really?
I might become homeless after 5. I don't know. What are they going to say? Put my pajamas on and walk around. Yay! Hi, everybody.
What did the homeless people do? Because I was noticing too, like they closed the beaches here in Delray Beach and in all kind of most of South Florida. And I'm also sharing this right now, sharing the live so people can get on. And like the homeless people now have nowhere to go. Like they can't go to the beach, they can't go to any of the parks. So they're like just gathering in the streets now, like and the town and stuff. It's funny.
That's what I was wondering too. We have some of the highest homeless, one of the highest. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, I'm going to share this in a couple of groups so people can jump on and listen if they like. We're talking today. I got Alison Cox here, and my name is Amy Shine. And Alison is a talk to the entity facilitator. She's a conscious horse, conscious rider facilitator, and she is an access consciousness facilitator. And today she has this call coming up next week, or actually on Thursday, called Psychic attacks.
Psychic attack, clearing mental abuse.
Clearing mental abuse. And when I saw it, I was like, whatever that, I don't even know what a psychic attack is, but I definitely know what mental abuse is because I mentally abused myself for years. And actually I had a long struggle with mental illness for a couple of years when I was younger. So anything when I hear mental illness, mental abuse, I'm like, I want to know more about it. So I asked Alison if she would jump on this live with me today to talk about psychic attacks and introduce us to what is psychic attack. And then if you want to know more, you can find out on our call on Thursday. So let's start, Alison. You ready?
Yeah, okay. Ready.
So first off, what is psychic attack?
Well, psychic attack is kind of a very significant word. I think it stemmed from metaphysical terms of when someone mentally sends negative energy at you and it attacks you and you can't think straight, you're depressed, maybe you sleep a lot or you're lethargic or your you literally physically start getting pained or sick or everything just starts going wrong. And it's this huge, it's supposed to be this huge problem that you can't get rid of and you're a victim, and the list goes on and on and on. What I found, go ahead.
Well, so is it always just a big massive energy of hitting you in the face where all of a sudden you're good one day and the next you can't get out of bed, you're depressed or you're anxious, or is it just out of nowhere kind of thing?
It can be, yep, totally out of nowhere. Sometimes it's just a long, it's just constantly there and you don't know why you keep worrying about this one thing. It can almost feel like an obsession about something.
Yeah.
Obsession is a great word for it. And I have so much experience with this, and you want to shove it under the rug, but it never seems to go away. And you don't know why this thing has so much power over you, or why you're thinking about this certain person, or why you're thinking about money so much, or why, I see it a lot, when people break up or a relationship ends, or even a friendship. And this weird, almost evil or obsession sets over, and you can't get this thing or this person out of your head. And it kind of feels like a jail, you're in mental jail.
Wow.
So, yeah. However, in the metaphysical world, a lot of people are like protect yourself and put up barriers and do all these things and like fight back. And those are all things that you could try, but they don't ever really, really work. What I found is the tools of access consciousness work a lot, or just asking questions, lowering your barriers. You don't need to be protected. Just acknowledging what's going on is a really good way to shift it. So like psychic attack sounds really.
Yeah, it's got a lot of heaviness to it. Like it's, oh, I'm being psychically attacked, so I need to defend myself, which isn't really the case. Because, okay, I suppose my question is like, is it coming from another person? Or are they just not conscious that they're doing it?
Right. So people can be, they can be conscious or unconscious of it. Or you might even be taking on other people's psychic attacks. If you're an empath, or if you love to heal other people, you will literally bring in their universe into yours. And so you might not even know that person that you're trying to heal from their psychic attacks. You'll take on like the world's problems and allow yourself to be psychically attacked from other people that you don't even know, or it can be people you know. So even like your friends who, whenever you start to get bigger or out of the box or something like that, and you're like, yay, this is awesome, and you want to share it with the world, or maybe you like give classes, or something really cool happened to you, so you share it on Facebook, your friends or people that see it might be like, oh, awesome, on the computer, or congratulations. And then unconsciously, they will like send you, they'll be jealous, or they will judge themselves for what you're doing. And that will actually have an effect on you if you let it. But when you know what's going on, it's so much easier to not let that happen, or to shift all that is.
So if, like, that's a good example. So like, say you post something, or you're telling someone something about something amazing that you got to in your life, or how great you're feeling, or whatever, or something you're creating that you're loving and your life is expanding, and they're happy for you. They say they're happy for you, but really they go into, oh God, I'm terrible because I'm not doing what she's doing, or they go into judgment. That if we can perceive all that, but if we don't acknowledge what we're perceiving or what we're aware of, we will turn it almost like in on ourselves.
Yep. You'll turn it in on yourselves, and they may even turn it in on themselves. So it's like double psychic attack whammy.
Wow. So what about this thing? So like so say you do something shitty, you have a falling out with a friend, or something happens, there's a falling out, and then you go into all the judgment of you, how bad and terrible and awful you are. Is that a psychic attack?
It can be. You can just ask. It most often is a psychic attack.
If it's like it's not shifting, like it's there for months, even years.
There for months. Totally. Yep. Yeah, it could be psychic attack from them or from yourself. There's also psychic attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it with yourself. You can have, you can actually, I don't know if we're going to go into this right now. We'll definitely go into it more on Thursday. But so not all psychic,
know more about this. You can join the call on Thursday.
Not all psychic attacks. Oops. Sorry, 1 second. I got a phone call. Not all psychic attacks are from people embodied. Sometimes they're also from entities too. So a psychic attack can come from a person or a thing, or a past or a present or a future. So it's all kind of like interwoven, but there's super simple tools that we'll go over on Thursday where you can deal with all of this, no matter where it's coming from you, someone else, or something else.
So you just have to ask questions, really.
Yeah, you have to ask questions. There's different clearings you can do. Like, it's so fast, it's weird. Another thing is when people, it's almost like people are used to having these negative connections with people because they don't know how to keep them in their lives any other way. And so, like, if you lose those psychic attacks, or if you lose that negative connection when you had a breakup with your friend, you think that you're going to lose that person. So one of you might be pulling on the other just to even have that energy still there. Or maybe one person wants to get the other back, or someone wants to have revenge on you, or you just wish everything would go back to how it was. But there's all these reasons of who's right, who's wrong. All the judgments start to get in the way of actually creating space and allowing a different possibility for you guys. But people are so used to just having some kind of energy. And if they lose that, then they will lose the person.
Wow. So we'd rather hold on to like the insanity than actually let it go and have ease.
Yeah.
So Shrutu, sorry, I'm butchering your name, said, what can we do and be if there is a psychic attack?
What can we do and be if there is a psychic attack? I was so tired before this call. Now I'm like, hi, Mike.
I'm on a Facebook Live.
Oh, good. He loves to be on our Facebook Live.
Yeah, he does.
So what you can be, and we will go over a lot of this on Thursday, you want to just acknowledge how aware you are of other people's heads and take a big breath and lower your barriers and say, is any of this actually mine, or is it someone else's? And anything that contracts your universe, doesn't allow ease in your life, doesn't expand your life, is not yours, it's someone else's. And really practicing allowance is going to help you get beyond all of it. Allowance for however other people think of you, allowance for how you're thinking of you at the time, and allowance for how things have shown up in the past. So we'll talk a lot about how, like, how things show up in the past. You can even mimic how other people create their past, like your parents or your friends when you were growing up, and you're like, wait, how do I work this in my reality? Let me mimic that. So you start using their examples to create how you deal with things in your life. And then you'll either hang on to those for life, like, oh, I need to fight against everything in order to protect myself, or I need to fight in order to overcome this thing that has more power than me. But on Thursday, we'll go over how you can let all of that go and start creating a totally different route starting now and in the future. That's way easier. You can do these things every day. You don't even have to do them every day anymore once you have these tools in place and once you ask these questions. And once you just have these awarenesses of like, oh, it's this easy, then you can start. Psychic attacks get a lot easier. Your relationships get a lot easier, or it makes it so much easier just to let the ones go that aren't actually creating more in your life to just go. I've found, like, when I know that if I do use these tools and I just use them, I'm like, God, do I want to use them? Because I think either that our relationship's going to get better with that person, or that person's just going to disappear. And yes, I won't care after a couple of days, but right then I'm like, no, I want to hold on to this relationship, or I don't want it to change, or what if it goes away if it changes? And I'm like, okay, let me just use these tools. Let me expand out. Let me ask what else is possible. And within a few days, either our relationship has totally changed, or that person literally goes away, or I have the power to just say, hey, goodbye. I don't require you in my life anymore, whether it's a person or an energy or an entity or whatever it is.
So you really get clarity on what's a contribution and what's not a contribution, and how much of everything you're picking up isn't even yours. Yeah. So a lot of the insanity, the things running around your head, the depression, the sadness, the anger, a lot of that is not even yours to begin with.
Exactly. And once you become the space of just you, without anybody else's, like, without mimicking anybody else's reality or anybody else's points of view, when you're just being you, the psychic attacks or the judgments have nowhere to hook onto. When you have other things or judgments of of yourself, or that you have of other people's, those judgments are like hooks. Yeah. They're like, yeah, I forget what that is, like anchor points. They're anchor points for those judgments to hook in, and everything can find you and affect you. And that's when you become the victim. But when you're being space, then they can't.
Did I lose you?
You froze for a second, but you're back now.
My internet is unstable. How does it get any better than that? I'm unstable. So,
Unstable.
so I was saying, like, if you had the point of view, which I did for years, was that I was evil. Like there was something really terribly awful, evil about me. And so I constantly tried to like prove I wasn't evil while really believing I was. And then anyone could get control over me by projecting at me that I was evil. So anyone would even have to just think, oh, she's a bad person, or she's terrible, or she's horrible. And that then they would be able to hook onto the point of view that I already had about me. And then that's how that person or that entity or that thing gets to attack me, right?
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. No,
Even with having that point of view that's stuck there, like I'm evil, but I need to prove that I'm not evil, you're still being the vibration of I'm evil. And that's actually your ask. You're vibrationally asking everyone to show you that point of view that you have about you. So you will literally pull in the people that will prove that underlying point of view to you. It's like your hidden agenda.
Yeah. And demons and entities.
Demons and entities.
Oh,
yep.
God.
So you'll constantly be fighting against everything, even though you're asking for it. You'll constantly be fighting against everything to prove you're not. And it takes a lot of energy to do that.
Yeah. Thank God for access consciousness. This is how I was before I found access consciousness and I started getting my bars run. When I started getting my bars run, I started to let go of all of that. And that's when I actually started to have ease. But before that, I had so much mental abuse going on. So much, like constant insomnia, financial like struggle, struggle with my body, struggle every single day because I had all these judgments in place.
Yeah, me too. But I just thought that was normal. I didn't even think that
I know
it was a problem. I didn't even know it was a problem. I was like, okay, this is fine. Like the picture where like the little guy's in the kitchen with his coffee mug, but the kitchen's burning down and he's like, I'm fine. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah. So, okay, finish up now after this because we, thank God to AC, Amy and Alison. Oh, I just had another question for you, Alison, which was, what about with everything that's going on in the world right now? With all the pandemonia and the media frenzy and the control of the government and people fighting for and against it as well, because there's a lot of people, we need to go on complete shutdown, and then other people are like fighting against that, and everyone has the point of view about the right thing to do right now and the wrong thing. And I can see there's a lot of judgment as well of people who are social isolating, people who are not, and oh my God, there's so much judgment going on right now. That can you talk about how psychic attack could affect people during this time with everything that's going on?
Yeah. I've been doing so much work for myself with all of this that I barely notice it anymore once in a while, but I keep forgetting and I keep hugging everyone. I'm like, oh, sorry, is that okay? And I like walked into the store the other day and my body just started coughing. I'm like, yeah, this is funny for me. And I know like that's hilarious for me, body, thank you. But like it might be freaking other people. Can you stop coughing right now? And then when I walked out of the store, it just stopped. I'm like, that's hilarious.
I walked into the shop yesterday too, and all of a sudden I'm like, why all of a sudden do I want to cough? I am not coughing. I do not have a cough. I'm like, I want to all of a sudden, oh my God, I want to cough.
It's so funny. So it's like we're so aware. And you've been doing Access for a long time too. So like being interesting point of view about all points of views makes it a lot easier. When the whole world is like, the world's shutting down. Yes, you can allow other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Basically, anything you give more power than your own point of view and your own reality is a psychic attack you're inviting on yourself. So if anything feels heavy about this,
we have to say that again. Yeah. So anything that you give power to greater than your reality is a psychic attack.
Yeah. Psychic attacks don't actually just happen to you. You have to allow them to happen to you.
You mean we create them ourselves?
Yeah. We either create them ourselves or allow them in.
Or we allow them in. Wow.
We allow them to have more power than us.
Wow.
I know. And it's so fun to watch. I mean, the gift in being affected by psychic attacks. It's not very fun while you're going through it. It actually seems, for me, it always seemed impossible to get free of it. My life would go to shit if I like went down that rabbit hole, which I've done a lot, of the psychic attacks or the thing that I made more powerful than me, whether it was money, friendship, relationships, everything, business. Oh my God. And, but once I made the choice to change it, and a few days later, you can change it right away, or a few days later, however long it took, whatever it took, the gift was like, wow, I have that much power to shift all of this, and the ease and space afterwards. And then the power that you have that you can never lose after that is like unbelievable. I don't even know the word unbelievable, or like
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. That's a great word. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. Sherry says, I've just been in one.
I've just been in one. Yeah, I know. I had been in like 2 or 3 in a row before this call, and I was like, all right, people need to know this.
As well, like you can come in and out of it. You know what I mean? Like it may, like the psychic attack may not be so aggressive that like it's ongoing every day and you're living it in every moment, which for some people, like for us pre-access, we were just doing that to ourselves. Like that was my life.
Yeah.
I psychically attack myself every day. But, and then maybe I'd give myself a day off, you know?
Yeah.
I'd be happy for a day, and then I go back to like psychically attacking myself and allowing others to psychically attack me as well. And demons and entities.
I used to just drink through it. Like I used to drink through them when I didn't have these tools.
That was nice. I couldn't drink. I had to go to AA at 21.
Fool. Just kidding. That was nice.
But, like, I know. Great choice, Amy. I learned how to have fun sober. So then like with the, like, it could be like very aggressive, or it could just be like, okay, like 1 minute you're fine, you wake up, you're creating your life, like I noticed here, you know, and then I go out and I see people wearing masks and like, you know, wrapped in like suits and stuff, and I'm like, what, you know? And then you have a choice in those moments to like allow other people's realities be greater than yours, or have your reality be greater than everyone else's, and have your knowing.
Yeah, certain things will trigger you more than others. Just depends. Or if you're empathically trying to heal someone else's stuff who gets triggered about something, all of a sudden you'd be like, why am I so upset about this? I don't usually get upset about this. All kinds of different things can show up and trigger, and some are more intense than others.
Yeah, so it's, wow, brilliant. Knowing your triggers too, then I suppose.
Yeah, or just getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that pretty easily.
Okay, so Alison, we're going to have you're going to be doing this class online on Thursday. It's called Psychic Attack, Clearing Mental Abuse. Yeah. And it's going to be a two-hour class.
Yep, about 2 hours. We'll see how it goes.
How many questions? It could go longer if you have more questions. And it's recorded. This is like a day class, Vicky said. It's like a specialty topic. You're gonna delve into that topic for a couple of hours. You can ask any question you want in the class. You can get facilitated by Alison, and she'll walk us through in more detail about psychic attack, about knowing the signs of it, knowing how to go beyond it, knowing when you're doing it yourself. I'm also very interested in knowing it when you do it to others. I'm interested in asking more about that too. Yeah. And so what time, Alison?
It is at, I believe, 2:00 on Thursday.
Your time.
NST. Let me just see. I have it here somewhere. I think I'm organized, but I'm usually not.
Mountain time would be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. But I'll post the link to the class in the thread here, and there's a time link so you can check your time in the world.
Yeah, we'll post my brain's like fried already today. Dane was on earlier today. I'm like, ah.
So, and then if you can't be on live, it will be recorded so you can get the replay.
Right. There will be a replay. Yeah. And even if you are on live, you'll get the replay, and listening, I'm sure, again and again will create even greater. I just listened to one of my calls that I did. I transcribed a call that I did like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was like, why didn't I listen to this earlier? This is perfect for right now. So listening to these calls, I was like, I used to know all this stuff. I forgot that I knew all this stuff. Good thing I listened to this. How did I get so stupid? But listening to the calls, like, especially this topic Thursday, and then a couple of weeks from now, or even 6 months from now, can change all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Cool.
Thanks, Alison. Thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you, Amy.
Thanks for watching, for your questions.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Vicky.
Yay, awesome. Thank you, Vicky.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Thanks. Bye.